Got music in my own head. Oh, no. Damn it. Wrong one. All right. Go ahead and get this party started. It's got to be 5:30 by now. It is. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, the amazing Dr. Donna, and we're going to start with some breathe again, breathe again, breathe again. Okay. I'm going to count you in a descending fashion. 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. And then we're going to do some work today in a real leader way. All right. Good morning, Journeys. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, gentlemen. It is me, Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers. My hair is crooked from TikTok, and I am the daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas and the granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II and the great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate it. And I forgot to set the thing for the live, or it ain't up there. What is this? Pin the live to the stream? Okay, I don't know. How do you do that? Am I waiting on some stuff? Okay. It won't let me do that. Okay. I don't know what happened. Thank you, Jared. It won't let me set. What is this? Chat filter to message. Automatic translation. Okay. I have no idea what that is. Good morning. Yeah, and my gold thing ain't up. Do I press that this morning? It ain't up. Maybe because I didn't set it in enough time. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Jared. So here's the point. We got to talk about the levels, and then we're going to go into it today. All right. Level 1 starts on Instagram. 7-day, 60-second Neuro Reps. It's a free trial. After successful completion at level 1, you'll receive an invite from me to go to level 2. Elevate up. 30 consecutive days of 60-second Neuro Reps. After you complete that level, you will receive a third invite from me. And it will be for you to come here on YouTube and start to do expanded Neuro Reps. You spend 90 days in the expanded Neuro Rep room at level 3. Then you receive a level 4 invite from me where you will start to inculcate real leader resources, real leader doctrine, 74 principles of real leadership, and expanded levels of Neuro Reps. And then you receive the ultimate invite from me for level 5, where you have 2 options. RL 365, 365 consecutive days of doing real leader stuff day in and day out. Or you may have a special project that you want to work on and you want to do other real leader resources. So you have that option available for you at that time. And so that is the levels. You have to go up each level consecutively. And missing a day puts you back at that level at 1 miss. And then after that, good morning, Bridget, you have to go to a second miss, means that you are not ready to be at that level, and you will go back down to the second level or the third level or the first level, and then work your way back up. That creates neural clarity for you. Now, today's topic, I had a different topic. I was going to do the subjunal ACC, but I have a dentist appointment and I need to make sure that I finish on time. And I didn't feel confident in the amount of information that I had. Good morning, Virginia is listening. And so as a result, I need more time. And depending on what takes place at the dentist, I could just be in a bed for the rest of the day, which will give me time to study what I need to study. I also needed to, because we just switched from the let me portion, I needed to reiterate what personal accountability is and the 74 principles of real leadership. And so that is our topic today. Good morning, Daisy. Good morning, Bridget. Good morning, Lola, and everyone else. If I didn't say good morning to you already, Jared gave me a high five. That's what that thing is. Okay, so here is the thing. Personal accountability. And I know you write down your personal accountability every day. And I explained this to, I believe, Denise and Tiffany. Personal accountability is being responsible and accountable for all that you do and all that you fail to do. So when you're sending in your personal accountabilities, you keep saying all of the things that you did well. But Jared, I'm going to use you as an example. The day you missed, by saying I screwed up. You didn't say that. You said I forgot what you said because I don't want to remember it. That's why. So that's being personally accountable too. So the fact that you literally, the fact that you recovered so quickly with everything that you did, blew it. I blew it because that's just not something, a term that I would use. But then you still put the Neuro Rep up. That meant that you were personally accountable. And so saying, I'm going to be personally accountable, I fell asleep on the couch, I looked up, the time was behind. That's personal accountability too. And people don't understand that part because in an untrained brain, which creates dysregulation on a daily basis, they operate in a system of credit and blame. If it goes well, I'm taking credit for it. If it went left, it's not my fault. It's somebody, that ain't my fault. It's someone else's fault. And that works in that system because everybody does it. And that's why people think, oh, I'm accountable. And I've said this before. You're only accountable because a system said that you need to be accountable. Don't speed or you get a speeding ticket. Pay your bills or you're going to not have lights. You won't have a place to live or a car to drive. That's forced external stimuli that says, I got to do this. Put your kids in school from K through 12 or CPS going to come get them. They're going to go to foster care. You might go to jail for neglect. That's the only reason why people, right. And so you held yourself personally accountable and you did bounce back. You recovered. And that's personal accountability. But people believe because they are accountable that they then get to be unaccountable and blame people for things that they have done wrong. So in my case, I have to go to the dentist today. I will be doing dentist work for a while because I need 2 crowns on this side of my mouth and I need a bridge on that side of my mouth and deep cleaning. So today that process starts. Now, I've prepared myself. I got my mashed potatoes ready to go, my eggs, my chicken noodle soup, and my protein for my Ensure, and my Greek yogurt, because that's going to be the diet once my teeth get cleaned today, because they're going to be extremely sensitive, and I got some Tylenol on standby. I didn't take care of my teeth. So whatever pain I experienced throughout this process, that's just on me. I didn't go twice a year to get my teeth cleaned. I didn't floss after every meal. I didn't brush before I went to bed. All of that is on me. So I literally cannot blame anybody else but me for not taking care of my teeth. So I don't get to go, oh my God, this is so terrible. And this is so painful. Pray for me, y'all. Let's hold hands and say kumbaya. Because no, this shit is 100% on me. This shit is 100% on me. That's on me. So I know I talk about people being overweight. Now these motherfuckers, peace is instant gratification. Yes. These people get to say skinny ass to me all the time. Yo skinny ass. Yo skinny ass. But I can't say yo fat ass. Make that make sense. Now, if you are bedridden, I got it. Heavy set might run on your daddy's side, but heavy ass don't. So that's something that you can control. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's why I read Jean Nadesh's book. She started Weight Watchers because I wanted to understand what's taking place in a person that is grossly overweight's mind. Because you can say, it's not my fault. Then I'm like, no, it's a choice. It's actually a choice. And then all of these other health problems that come with it. And the first thing that overweight people want to say is, well, I got trauma. We all got trauma. You got 600 pounds worth of trauma. You got doing hard things leads to infinite possibilities. Yes, sir. And so this isn't a matter, it's a choice. I was overweight. I had the freshman 20 at Michigan State. And if you're 30 pounds or more overweight, that is considered obese. That's your body, your body mass index, your fat index. When we were in the Army, it was a bunch of people that were short but rocked up. And so they used to have to get taped because they was overweight and they had no damn body fat whatsoever. So is we looking at your BMI. Well, BMI standards are wrong. Okay. If you was a size 4 and you ain't no more and you were 10, something happened. Okay. Something happened. Not life. Will life just be, well, see, when you go through, when you have a baby, you just have fat from the baby. No, baby, you just fat. The kids are grown. They grown. So it's choices. It's daily choices. I made sugar choices consistently. I told y'all I used to take a Twix and put it in hot chocolate, and I was doing the do, drinking 3 Mountain Dews, all kind of, I didn't drink coffee, but then I started drinking caramel braids and all that other shit and not brushing and not, that's on me. This is 100% self-inflicted. So whatever pain I have to experience to get my teeth back to a healthy level, that's what I'm going to have to do. So tomorrow, if I'm on live typing because I can't talk, or I'm talking like this and I'm doing like this, that shit's on me. And you can say, well, Dr. Donna, take a break, because you know this shit is my fault. I should have got my teeth cleaned twice a year. I should have got my teeth, and I should have been brushing and flossing, switching on my toothbrush, using better toothpaste, rinsing with my peroxide and everything else, so this wouldn't have happened. But this happened by the time I was 18, and I continued to have those bad habits well into my 30s, so this is what you get in your 50s. Point blank, period. That's me being personally accountable. But that's, now I'm going back to the overweight people. The people who drink too much, the people who watch too much, the people, this overindulgence makes you personally unaccountable. And then you want to justify, excuse a lie, why you are being unaccountable. And then you want people to come to you. If you find out that you have some type of cancer, I have alopecia, so autoefficiency, immune, this thing, and it's just happening. You know what I'm saying? It's just passed down. On my daddy's side, for real, my grandmother and my older cousin got it. That's it. So now you want to have some empathy or sympathy. Damn, all your hair is gone. And look at your diseased scalp. Okay, I ain't had shit to do with that. But everything, okay, have a safe day, Jared. Everything else is on you. Everything else. I don't know how I got in this much debt. You spent more money than you had. That's how it happened. You spend more money. All that divorce debt, I had to sell my house to get out of that divorce debt. Personal accountability. I'm the one that went and signed for that. I'm the one that went and bought all that shit, knowing he ain't had no money and he had bad credit. That's on me. So I had to get out of that situation. Okay. What that got to do with you? I hear what you're saying about your sister, but your sister ain't on this line. I'm talking about you. It's personal accountability. And I understand you think you're contributing because she won't eat, but that's on her. If she dies, she dies. That's a horrible thing to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Just like with fat people. It's no different. Eating disorders are eating disorders. But I'm talking about me personally. And I'm saying why I say what I say, because it's a lack of personal accountability. That's what it is. So your sister need to go get some help. And you can't help her. She got to fix it for herself. And there are 12 steps for people who have the eating disorders. Bulimia, anorexia, all of that. That's on her. If she won't be here, then she will learn why she's not eating. If not, she will die. Just like the overweight people will. Just like the people on alcohol, with alcohol and drugs, all of that. If you want to be here, you're going to be here. If you don't, you're going to do everything that you can to not be here. That's why you need to learn how your brain functions so you can become high functioning and you can work all of that out and stop using it as a reason not to. I see plenty of people walking around and I can tell when that's not just being thin. My grandfather, I'm built like the man in my family and I'm just naturally thin. That's why I'm about to lose some weight from not being able to eat, because I do have to eat in order to maintain my physicality currently. The point is, personal accountability is being personally accountable and responsible for all that you do and all that you fail to do. That shit is on you, boo-boo. So starting today, when you put your Neuro Reps in, you're gonna include the shit that you didn't do from a personal accountability perspective. Oh, this is how I held myself personally accountable today. Okay, but what didn't you do? Because that's personal accountability. All that you do and all that you fail to do. If you told somebody you was going to call them right back and you didn't call them back, and it's been a week and they haven't heard from you, that's personal accountability. If you said, I'm going to start making up my bed every day and you missed today, that's being personally accountable, because you say, I did not make up my bed today. If you say you're going to start eating healthy, then you're going to start eating healthy. Now, I gave up coffee on December 28th or 29th of last year. Y'all have not seen my black coffee mug anymore in any of the lives. You have not seen me sip out of my coffee, and it was decaf. You haven't. What you saw was a white cup, and it said, I forgot what it says on my doggone teacup, and I was drinking chamomile tea, I think twice. What you have seen is some waters. That's what you have seen. But you have not seen me pour up no sparkling water or anything else. And I had a couple green drinks, but y'all wouldn't see them because that's later in the day. So I said I wasn't drinking coffee no more, and I haven't drank coffee no more. No more decaf. And that was enough to get the heartburn going. And so now that I'm perimenopause, hopefully soon to be menopause, it's impacting me. So maybe after I'm done with this process, I might be able to consume it. I might not even want it anymore. But the reality is I'm not going to keep having heartburn so I can drink some coffee. I'm not going to keep eating doggone Tony Sacheri in Old Bay because my food don't taste right with salt. I don't have heartburn anymore. So I don't care if I got to eat fucking celery and lettuce and go vegan. So my chest don't feel like, oh, I can't. No, that's personal accountability. Nola had a client and he always offers us drinks and he was offering me some sparkling water and I said, I can't have it anymore because we're taking their Christmas decorations down. I said, because of the carbonation, it gives me heartburn. And he said, really? He said, how's that working out for you? I said, I ain't got no heartburn. He said, well, congratulations. And basically his wife don't do that. So she ain't following. She in Perry and she doing what she want to do. And that's causing problems day to day for everybody in the household. And that's unfortunate, but that's being personally unaccountable. I've had enough sparkling water, coffee, soda, and all of that for my lifetime. If it's time for me to stop, then I'm going to stop. That's personal accountability. People lose weight to go to the doctor, so it'll look like something, but your blood don't lie. That's why you always got to go how the blood work, because you're like, yeah, I'm the right weight. Okay, well, what's the blood saying? The blood is going to tell you what's actually going on. It's literally what's going to show up. Yeah, doc, I've been eating oatmeal every day. Why your cholesterol still high then? How? How's that possible? I don't know. Maybe it's the wrong oats. Maybe I need to be doing something else. I don't know. So you don't take care of yourself. You hit these big age walls, and then you just say, well, this ain't fair. The doctor said. The doctor can only say what your body is saying. That's all the doctor can say. If I go to the doctor can't tell me that I'm a European male, 72 years old with prostate cancer. I'll be like, you got the wrong chart, doc. Hello. You must need Donald Thomas. I'm Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers. You got the wrong chart. Automatically. So you set up these narratives that work well for you, but they aren't true for anything. Well, the reason why I just gotta have stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just like to look good. At what price? How much is looking good costing you? How about that? And the other thing that I would say while I'm speaking about people and weight, you got too much shit in your house because you can't decide what size you're gonna be. So you got 4, 5, 6, 7 sizes in your closet. You taking up closet space in other people's room. Well, this is when I'm skinny. And this is when, if I get depressed, I eat a lot. So then I go to this closet to get my depressed, eat a lot clothes. No, you pick 2 sizes. And I tell people this all the time. I'm a 0 in the spring, summer, and I'm a 2 in the fall, winter. Those are the 2 sizes that's in my closet. That's it. Nothing else. Well, everybody can't be that disciplined. Why not? You disciplined in eating. You've set up a I'ma eat all the time habit in your basal ganglia. You doing that daily. So why can't you stop? If you started, why you can't stop? Because neurologically, that takes effort. It don't take an effort at all. There's no neurological effort in making an excuse. It's not like an accessory like Barbie Dream's house, excuses sold separately. It just come with you. They come with you. So personal accountability is everything that you do. I failed to take care of my teeth, and I will pay the pain price for the next couple months for not taking care of my teeth. You will not hear me say, I wish I would have I didn't. All the wishing in the world ain't going to change what's happening to my teeth right now. Nothing at all is going to change. I'm getting ready to get numbed, and I'm getting ready to be in some pain. And I'm going to have a soft diet for the next 7 days. And I'm going to have to go and get temporary caps and then get real caps on there. Then I'm going to have to go do some bridge work over there. This is about to be a reality for a while. And it was self-fucking inflicted. So I'm going to make the best out of the worst situation. And I'm going to do what I do. And I'm not going to stop doing anything. If I got to go on my computer tomorrow, we're going to be doing like this, typing a live. Unless I'm not here, I will be live tomorrow. Now, How y'all feel about that? Not about my teeth, but about personal accountability. And while you're at it, drink water. And everybody needs to answer today. How you feel about the actual definition of personal accountability? Yes, I am. We had a discussion about it. Don't worry. I'm going to still have the feelings to show. They still going to be there. Yeah, right there. That's getting ready to be a crown. Up there in the back. So I still have got a crown. Got will be there to show that I didn't take care of my teeth. And I will be saying this is a bridge. And those are crowns. I was about to say, they used to call them caps. Now they're saying crowns. Nola and Bridget ain't the only people on this live. Personal accountability. How you feel about it? And drink your water if you didn't. Personal accountability. I know Regina's driving. Jared's not on here anymore. Someone just dropped off. So that stuff ain't working this morning. I agree. We should hold ourselves personally accountable for bad as well as good, and that we do or don't do. I used to beat myself up. Now I just talk it out with me. Lola is thinking. Journey said, I didn't think that personal accountability is both what you do and what you fail to do. I feel unacceptable in many areas. But I think you said areas. That's the only way you're going to change. If all you do is give yourself credit for the good, then you're giving yourself permission to keep doing the bad. Nola's is above mine. I know, Bridget, I read yours. You said, I agree. We should hold ourselves personally accountable for bad as well as good that we do or don't do. I used to beat myself up. Now I just talk it out with me. And people don't want to do that. Untrained brain of a dysregulated person, the last thing someone is going to do. You think people don't admit when they are wrong, apologize when they're wrong, as one of the 74 principles. I did read hers. She said, makes sense. I read hers before I read yours. I said, makes sense. And then I talked about the bridge. I said, makes sense. And then I said, yes, I'm getting the bridge. And then I went and said, it's still going to be that. Yeah, dysregulation says I ain't got to be responsible for that. And that's why, watch this. That's why the VACC and the SGACC are so dysregulated. Because you want to be around people with the VACC, and then the SGACC is setting up the environment for it long term. And so you just end up being around people. And some people will call it trauma bonding. I'm calling it you just being dysregulated with an untrained brain. And as a result, you get to say, that's okay. You was doing the best you could. Everybody's overweight sometimes. Now, you had that hard time. And so, you were trying to do the best you could, taking care of your teeth. It's a lie. I wasn't trying to do the best that I could. I did not give a fuck about my teeth. That's the reality. And you can't change it. You can't grow. You can't develop as long as you keep making excuses for why you actually made a decision to not do something. And in this dysregulated, untrained brain world, you get to do that with them. That dog don't hunt over here. You can't change anything as long as you're blaming it. Now, I feel if we're all personally accountable, we will get along better. We will. So I want to put this on the record so everybody knows what a pervert CCC Boxing 770 is. Everybody got that? CCC Boxing 7770. CCC Boxing 7770. So this pervert woke up this morning with perversion on their mind. And they want my attention this morning, so they got it. CCC Boxing 7770 is a pervert. CCC Boxing 7770 is a pervert. You look like back in the day you would suck a mean one. Didn't land well, right? It didn't go as though you thought it was going to go. Ha ha ha, I got her attention. Yes, you did, pervert. Yes, you did. Has anyone ever called you a pervert before? Don't land as well. Pervert. You came on to somebody's live. They're talking about personal accountability in the brain. And your untrained, dysregulated brain decided you'd opt for perversion this morning. Guess you was trying to get a rise out of something, huh? Did it work? Pervert? Did it work? And you teaching people how to box. CCC boxing? You working with boxers. Training people how to box. And then deciding that this was a good decision for you today. You look like you suck a mean one. You look like, ooh, you just wrap those big old lips around something. That's what you look like. Really? Would you like to continue this conversation, perverted one? No? You don't have anything else to say? You sure? What else would I look like I would do? Since you decided to disrupt my life, what else? Enlighten us on what I look like I would be good at. It sure is quiet. Crickets. Sure is quiet. You still there? No? No bueno? Okay. Let's see if they're back. Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. So before we were rudely interrupted by the pervert, CCC Boxing 7770. Let me see if I can look that up and see if that's an actual thing. Not on your time. See what that is. So let's read what Daisy and Lola said. Yeah, Lola said, I feel if we're personally accountable, we'll be able to get along better. Daisy said, I'm not always personally accountable. I have improved a lot since doing the Neuro Reps. You threw him in when you called out that he was a boxing teacher. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit. Guess he had to clutch his boxing pearls. I will be exploring and find out who exactly that is. The MP in me wants to know more. So you gonna fuck around and find out you picked the wrong live today. Especially since, hey, I'm gonna be sitting in my bed for the rest of the day with not a lot to do. Because once I take this Tylenol, I'm gonna be a little bit groggy. So who knows? Aaron opportunity, baby. Aaron. CC Boxing 7770. Perverts are us. Yeah, people don't like being called a pervert, even when they're doing perverted stuff. Don't want to be classified. Searching. Got to get these TikTok moms on here. They will find his ass and his address and the boxing place and put a bunch of bad reviews on Yelp. Ooh. I hope he's helping kids, because I just wanted to tell the parents what he said to little old Dr. Donna. Oh my goodness, a veteran. Oh my God. Out here harming perimenopause women. That might not be good for business. Anyway, CCC Boxing 7770 is being personally unaccountable today. Being personally unaccountable today. Trolling that went left. Left. So early in the morning, too. Hopefully they're on the East Coast, so it's 9 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. So at any rate, personal accountability is for all that you do and all that you fail to do. That's what it is. All right, now let's talk about the 74 principles of real leadership. Let me flip back. There is Real Leader Brain, Breeding Real Leaders Wear Pink. That's not the actual cover, but you get the point. There we go. All that you do and all that you fail to do. Now, recently you all have finished out the Let Me 74 Principles of Real Leadership, and your Neuro Rep is what principle of real leadership did you use for the day? And I've been watching you. I've been watching the ones that you've picked. And so we are having calibration today. It's still early here. You funny, Doc. Got it. So the 74 principles of real leadership are how adults should behave. So CCC Boxing 7770 was not using one of the principles of real leadership. Treat people with dignity and respect. I was not getting treated with dignity and respect on my own live by CCC Boxing 7770. That was not happening. But I was using the number one principle of real leadership, which is to hold yourself and others personally accountable. That's what I did. I gave CCC Boxing 7770 an opportunity to apologize because they were wrong. Let's face it, it was a he. He was wrong. And he did not do that. So now he will get whatever he gets. He getting what he got coming. He had it coming. He got it coming. Yes, he does. Oh, let the universe take control. So the 74 principles of real leadership are designed for you to use to govern your adult life, to self-regulate your adult life. That is what it is there for. They are there for that. Now, what I have found is that when people have to use the 74 principles of leadership or held accountable to it, they have their favorite go-to principles of real leadership, and they use them again and again and again and again. They get real good at those. People have about 10 to 15 that they use, but there's 74 of them. So if you're using 10 to 15, you still got 59, 60 of them that ain't getting touched. They're not getting touched. That's why yesterday I picked one for you. Because what happens is ain't nobody really taking risk. That's not one of them ones that people use. People not challenging themselves. Today, I decided to swim upstream. Today, I persevered during times of adversity. Today, I was fair and consistent. And I know, Monique, you asked about the one with your mom. I kept my word. I was objective. I apologized when I was wrong. Those are the ones that kind of don't ever get and be the best. Is one that, I don't really, and set and maintain high standards. Unless that's the topic, not really being done. It's not really happening. Talk to people, not at them. We did it. People thought, wow. But that's not one that you go back to. So the 74 principles of real leadership need to be used every day in your life. Every day. That's what personal accountability is about. You got to use all of them, especially the ones that you don't like. Meet your potential. It's not one that people be prepared. Be prepared. That's what you're doing, Bridget, to make sure that you pass your final on Sunday. Be prepared. And why wouldn't people want to use the principles of real leadership? Lola, I'm glad you asked. Because of regulation. Midterm, I apologize. Midterm. Why wouldn't people want to use it? If you're an adult, you didn't get an adult handbook when you turned 18, you didn't get a, hey, here's your fully developed frontal lobe handbook when you turned 25. You didn't get those. Why wouldn't you want to use them to navigate through life better? Anybody want to take a educated guess on why people don't want to use the 74 principles of real leadership in day-to-day life? Dysregulation. Okay. Thank you, Bridget. And when Chad and I were discussing yesterday, is the untrained brain is why we have dysregulation. So dysregulation is what we see. The root cause is the untrained brain. And when you see neurotoxicity, when you see regulation, that is a direct result of a trained brain. Neurotoxicity. So Bridget has said dysregulation and Nola has said neurotoxicity. Thank you both for your answer. Neurocapacity. The 74 principles of real leadership create cognitive overload. First of all, 74 of them. Sometimes I have to remember all of them. Thank you, perimenopause. So you got to have capacity for 74 different things. In a untrained brain, dysregulated social conformity system, there isn't 74 things that an individual person has to do. We haven't been trained to use them and know what they are. You're learning what they are. That's what the let me was for. And they have to be used. You have to use them in your day-to-day life. I understand what you're saying. And I'm saying they're there for you to look at and say, which one of these am I getting ready to use? And the reason why it's challenging for people to do is because there isn't an expectation for adults in everyday life to be excellent. So I know that's what you're saying, not we here, but we as a society. That's why I said I understand what you're saying. Yes, you have. 5.9 billion of us have not. Yes, ma'am. And so as a result of that, there isn't a standard of excellence for everyday adults. There isn't a standard to keep growing and learning as an adult. We saw that on TikTok this morning. Children are expected to learn, grow, and change, and adults are expected to sustain and maintain. Get to a level and just stay there and then die. That's it. So you could actually get through your whole adult life and never apologize when you're wrong, and nothing will happen to you. No one's going to come and unless you harm someone, now you got to stand in front of court and say, I apologize for my actions. But overall, you don't break the law. Nobody's going to be like, why you didn't apologize for it? There's no law of accountability saying you must apologize when you are wrong. That's personal accountability. My bad. I'm wrong. I said final. Bridget said midterm. I said, I apologize midterm. So there is nothing forcing adults to be personally accountable and to use the 74 principles of real leadership. It's volunteer work. It is. It's going to take time. You're going to be using it for a very long time before you see some results. And so why? In a world where credit and blame works. I did a good job. I want a reward. I fucked up. It was their fault. It's the left's fault. It's the right fault. It's the black people fault. It's the white people fault. It's the gay people fault. It's the heteros. It's the stems. It's the this. It's the this. It's this. It's this. It's this. And it works. It's organized confusion. And so nobody knows whose fault it is. But it's everybody's for having an untrained brain. Everybody's complicit. Every adult is complicit right now. I won't even say able-bodied, neurologically functioning brained adults. It is the normal. Normalize being regulated. Normalize being high functioning with a high functioning brain. Normalize that. No. And people say, well, if we do that, we're not going to make any more money. I mean, yes, you are. You're going to make more money because people are going to be making informed choices. People are going to be operating at a higher level. Nola and I are regulated. We haven't stopped purchasing anything. I just got a Surface Pro with the pen and the case and the keyboard and everything. She just got a new vehicle. So that's not even true. We just made informed decisions prior to purchasing. That's actually not true. But a dysregulated brain, that's mythologizing because you actually don't know. We won't know until more people are holding themselves personally accountable what the outcome is. I have a sample size enough that says if we keep repeating this is going to have critical mass. It's going to tip, as Malcolm Gladwell says. But cognitive overload is real. And this whole life that you manufactured, this fake ass life existence that you wrapped yourself in all these explaining and excuses and everything, you got to dismantle that shit. I got to go get my teeth fixed. We got to undo a bunch of fucked up shit that I did to my teeth. That's going to be painful. And the insula registers pain as physical pain, the truth. Be honest. It's one of the 74 principles of real leadership, and adult peoples can't do that because it's painful. Look how long it took you to get this lie in place. And now you got to pull it out like a fucking tooth extraction. And now it's going to be an empty space there. Then you have to replace it with something. It got to heal. So you can't just go ahead and put another tooth there. It's got to heal over. What happened to your bone density and all of that, a bunch of other shit now. But that's necessary if you actually want to have a better existence. And people don't want a better existence. They just don't want the existence they have to be so bad on a daily basis. That's why it's hard to do the 74 principles of real leadership. Eliminate clutter in your life. Get organized and stay organized. Not just because somebody's coming to the house or you're trying to get promoted at the job. That's why it's so difficult to do, because nothing will actually happen to you if you don't. And nothing will actually happen to you if you don't. See how that works? As soon as you what? Ain't shit gonna happen. You treading water for the rest of your life. Like dip down. Treading water. You just float. Float on. That's it. Just floating. You and your stuck Millie and your stents. Because this shit is hard as hell. That's why I said I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the face of the planet Earth. Because I actually have a system that I use every day for my life. Every day. No one has a system. Why? I'm a Christian. Okay. Why you overweight? Gluttony is a sin. Why you worshiping the pastor? Thou shalt not have another God before me, right? You can't serve two masters. You will love one and hate the other. False idols. Jesus went in the tabernacle like it was a swap meet and kicked all that shit over. Ain't that the book y'all read? No? No? Being envious? Ain't that one of the 7 deadly sins? Coveting folks? No? Okay, cool. Just checking. I'm a good employee. Why they keep talking to you about being late then? Did you ever get employee of the year? You ever get employee of the month? You ever get some bonuses for that good work that you're doing? Yeah. Oh, I love the grandkids. Why you be sugaring them up and then sending them home then? You love the grandkids so much, get your ass on the ground and actually play tiddlywinks with them. Back in the day, marbles and shit. No. You got them a tablet, they come to your house, you sit them in front of the tablet and you don't talk to them. They bring you something. We saw a grandma, a abuela walking with a little baby with a big old giant muffin in his hand, leaving sprouts. And I said, his mama said, don't get that boy no muffins. He holding it in his hand. She didn't gave it to him. It ain't even in the bag. And he just holding it in his hand. Couldn't have been more than 3 or 4. Sugary ass muffin for a toddler. And no one's going to say anything to you. Okay. Got it. Don't take care of yourself whatsoever. Get a bad doctor's report now. Everybody got to come to your rescue. Nobody didn't slap a donut out your hand. Nobody didn't say, get that damn donut out your hand. And now you got to get your damn foot cut off. We got to go to the hospital. You know they're going to take mama's foot. Mama took mama's foot. That's what the fuck happened. Mama took mama's leg because she couldn't stop eating Krispy Kreme donuts. How's that on the doctor? Yes. You teaching her to play Jackson. That's a beautiful thing. Hopefully that showed. So that's why. No one, you're not going to get in trouble. You can go to your grave not being personally accountable. You can go to your grave not using the 74 principles of real leadership. And when people are standing up at your funeral talking about your blue blouse because you ain't did shit with your life, so they're trying to really find something positive to say about your raggedy ass, that's on you too. And my question to you is, what don't we have in the world because you have a sheer utter refusal to hold yourself personally accountable to be a bad motherfucker? What are we missing? Let's use me as an example. Let's say I stay in the Army, and I've ran this story before. So now I would have got out in 2016. I would have been a colonel and an MP, and then I decided to go into private security. Now I run a private security firm because that's what most cops do. They retire and then they go and do some security shit. Okay. So what don't we have? Well, first of all, Nola wouldn't be here. So there would be no 2,600 and counting projects that she's completed and families and businesses and corporations that she's helped. That's not there. There is no 74 principles of real leadership because I wouldn't have wrote a book. There is no Dr. Donna because I would have been Colonel Thomas, and the Army don't pay for doctorates. So then there's no me sitting here with you, helping you. Help others is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. So now Regina can't help the people that she's currently helping because I am running a security firm. Jared isn't in Toastmasters. He's not sending in the group chat to his kids, his adult kids, what do I need to do to support you in your current endeavors? He's not reading 20 books. That's not what's happening. Lola ain't getting better projects. Lola's not reading. Lola's not using computers. Lola's not doing anything. Right. Bridget isn't sitting down with the grands and telling them about the 74 principles of real leadership. She's not now having consulting clients. That's not happening. Daisy isn't ensuring that the diet is better and that she's regulating herself at the job. None of that is happening. And they're impacting people. And then those people are going to impact the people. There are people who are now lieutenants on the Dallas-Fort Worth Police Department because they were my soldiers and they went to OCS and I gave them the oath. When they got out, they became cops and now they're in leadership. That stuff doesn't happen. If I stayed at Frito-Lay, I'm still not Dr. Donna. And Lord knows Nola ain't going to be the Nola that she is today. So you're opting out of your greatness for your comfort. I'm just one person. You know what I mean? People I have helped, the thousands of people that I have helped in my life because I kept going and growing and not staying stuck. Lead by example is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And we all have the ability to do that because we all have this thing. What's for it? A brain. We all have one. And we need to know how it functions. And once we know how it functions, we become high functioning because we hold ourselves personally accountable every single day to use the 74 principles of real leadership. And now we don't have excuse lying. We don't have excuses. We don't have credit and blame. We got one standard. I am accountable and responsible for all that I do and all that I fail to do. We don't have no more finger pointing. We got to bend the wrist. I fucked up. Now I must pay the price at the dentist. That's what I did. I own that. I own that. That's what's wrong with humanity. It's not global warming. It's not who's in office in any country, the ruling class or anything. It's adults saying, yeah, I ain't got to do that. I can opt out. I can opt out and nobody can make me. You're right. I can't make you do shit. I cannot. All I can do is say, do you want to have a better existence? Do you want to know how your brain functions so you can be high functioning? Do you want a trained brain with a regulated emotional center so you can become a bad mofo? It's a personal choice. And I don't like the fact that I can't make people do it, but I can, because you have free will. And what is the actual, and we talked about it yesterday with social judgment theory. If someone is resisting everything that I say, there is nothing that I can say to them to get them to in the middle with a non-commitment, because they built their whole life around this lie, around this untrained, dysregulated, fake ass existence. And then I come along and say, and I'm not the pimp at the bus stop. I'm the lady at the restaurant saying, baby, you know you could do better than this. You know you could do better than this. Who listens really to the waitress at a truck stop? Not a lot of people. Even with her planting seeds, she know that's her calling, because how many people come to the truck stop? So she said, this is a high trafficked area, and I can just give them a piece of apple pie in a conversation, plant a little seed. And some people say, you know, I went to this truck stop in Anniston, Alabama, and there was Miss Brenda Jones there. She told me that I could do better, and she was right. Thank you, Miss Brenda. I don't even know if she's still working at that truck stop. That's what's happening. So people just driving through. Nope. She got on a burn t-shirt. She got on a wig. How can she know what she's talking about? Because if you need to see all that, you ain't going to do it anyway. It's a simple process. You go to Instagram, you start with your 7-day free trial, and then you work your way up. And in time and over time, your life becomes neuro clear. Your brain starts functioning at this very high level. And as we talked about on TikTok, you got options. You got options. No, you do not have to do what I'm saying. You absolutely don't. But what's dying with you because you didn't? What are your children and your grandchildren? And if you don't have any, the people in the world. There are plenty. Betty White didn't have any kids, but she made a difference in the world, and everybody was sad when she passed. So what if she had decided after Alan died that she was going to just go and be a recluse and never come back outside again? You don't have those Golden Girl moments and all the Hot in Cleveland, all those shows that y'all watched and enjoyed. That all goes away. I'm having a challenge with using the thalamus in a sentence. The best I can do is, I am a thalamus. This means I am conscious. And you can actually ask for support with chat, Lola. You can actually ask that chat, tell chat that, and you're going to get an answer back that's customized for you. And then you can play around with it. So no, you don't have to do this. You actually don't. You don't have to do anything that I'm saying, and nothing will happen to you. And nothing will happen to you. My pleasure. So your Neuro Rep for today is, you're going to go to my website, theturnarounddoctor.com, and you're going to review all 74 principles of real leadership. And the one that makes you want to pass the hell out, because you would never do, that's the one you're going to do today. You're going to use it today. And you're going to come back and say what took place, why you didn't want to use it, what happened, before, during, and after, and any takeaways. You're going to pick the hardest principle of real leadership for you, and you're going to do it today, because you need to knock this principle of real leadership wall down. So you're going to pick the hardest one, the one that you're like, I don't even understand that. I don't even know How could I? Why? How? Why? That's the one you're going to pick today. Because your brain likes a challenge as well. And when you knock down this 74 principle of real leadership wall, more options are going to become available to you. Because you're shifting the VACC and the SGACC, and you're saying, here's some new evidence, and here is permission for me to go do hard shit. That's what this is. Go do hard things. Because 5.9 billion adults walking around the face of the earth have made their life very simple, very autopiloted, and very comfortable. And what I represent is discomfort and challenge and change after they have been building this man cave. It's a comfort cave. And now here I come saying, with a sledgehammer and an excavator and everything else, dismantling the shit out of that. Because you were never supposed to be living that life in the first place. You were never, and I know I don't use suppose, but you in the wrong life. What the fuck you mean? Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, I asked this question on TikTok. What did you say you was gonna be when you was growing up? What did you say when you was in high school? When you was in college? What did you say you was gonna be? Somebody type it in. It's 15 people on here while I got a captive audience. What did you say you was gonna be? And drink water. What did you say? I used to think I wanted 3 kids until I got pregnant once. I said, fuck this. I ain't doing this shit again. Oh, hell no. I don't know how the fuck you do it twice. 3? I'm going to do this 2 more? Oh, shit. No, not me. Won't be coming from me. Maybe we can go to foster care or some shit, pick some shit up, because I'm never doing this again. Nola's middle name is Monique, and I used to tell people her name is No Mo, because I ain't having no mo. And Lola said a builder. We got an accountant and a builder. There's more people on this live than that. And for those of you who did your thing, okay, did the rest of the life go as planned? Did the rest, I thought I was going to marry somebody in the military. I didn't. I thought I was going to stay married. I didn't. Yesterday's morning mental workout took me 2 hours. There you go, Daisy. So life didn't go like you planned it. And imagine this. Imagine if you had known how your brain was functioning so you could be high functioning. You would have made all different decisions. Every decision that you currently made, you could have potentially made the opposite decision because you would have had more options and more information. I thought I was going to the Air Force. At first, I thought I was going to be a dancer, not exotic, like hip hop, competitive, and backup dancer. Yes, she did, like Jabberwockies and all of that. But Nola's actually doing what she came here to do. First part of adult life. So life didn't pan out like you thought. Now you're in the life that you're in. And now you're just like, fuck it. This is as good as it gets. But it's that you're not even, most people are not, I was not supposed to be a lawyer. Not at all. That's why, and if you ever found yourself saying, this is what I do to pay the bills, but this is what I do in my spare time. You find, wherever you find yourself volunteering, working for free and all of that, that's what you actually came here to do. Not that other thing. And now you done dug in. You done built this lifestyle. You done built this life around this narrative that's not even you. That's why people have a midlife crisis. That's why women in perimenopause start saying no to a bunch of shit. Start losing that estrogen, and that's our cushion. And so now, by the time we get in our 50s, it's like, fuck you 50s. That's what this is. I ain't doing that shit. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I ain't doing none of that at all because you can't suppress it no more because the estrogen ain't there to balance you out. So you keep blowing up and snapping at everybody because you're in a life that That's not what you came here to do. So thank you for the 3 people that answered, 4 people, I think. And for those of you who didn't answer, why you didn't answer? Don't shake your head. I'm talking to you. You ain't even answered the question. Spaghetti1263. What's your answer? What did you want to grow up and be? You're not about to be over here shaming other folks. This is personal accountability. What did you want to be when you grow up, and what are you actually doing? Answer those 2 questions. Nobody else. I don't need a hype man over here, hype person with your commentary. It's personal accountability over here. You ain't answered the damn questions. Answer the question. It's personal accountability sitting from just a professional man. A professional, you bartended. And what's okay? So that's not the same thing. A professional man, I don't know what that is, because I'm from a botanist. I'm from the streets, so they got all kind of professions. I'm not from the streets. I'm from the hood. So during the Chamber Brothers and Young Boys Incorporated BMF time era, so they was professionals. They got professional scammers now. Everybody was hitting licks. So that ain't telling me what kind of professional. And then you ended up as a bartender. You weren't supposed to be doing either one of those damn things. So you settled on what worked, that was comfortable for you. That's what happens. You settled on the thing that was comfortable. I knew at an early age that our higher power was going to keep destroying the land, and someone had to keep building it up. I would have a job for life. Yes, ma'am. And they do tear things down, pave paradise and put up a parking lot, and people will still, they're going to tear it down, and it's going to need to be built back up. So my point for the other people who didn't answer the question, because you're doing identity protection, but you stand, that's cognitive dissonance. You actually came here to do something extraordinary, even if it's in your community. I didn't say world renowned. In your community, there's a bunch of people making a difference in the communities in which they reside. Well, I won't say a bunch, but some. And now you're not doing that. I'm from this era. I'm from the streets too. Okay. Got it. But I'm not doing Dee Dee from the D no more. That's just where I was born. And it has shit to do with where I'm at now. So my point is that when you learn how your brain functions, you become high functioning. And then you start doing things that you actually came here to do, because your personality resides in your prefrontal cortex. So you built a life in using your limbic systems and your ACCs that works well from a social conformity perspective, but it actually doesn't work well for what you actually came here to do. That's why the work I do is extremely important and valuable in the world, because we have 5.9 billion adults not doing everything to the best of their abilities, not being a full-fledged, whole, complete person, and not doing what they came here to actually do. That's why we keep missing things. We need things that we don't have, and then we have too much of things that we don't need. I understand. I completely understand. So we have a bunch of people in sports and entertainment, and we won't have no plumbers, and we won't have no builders like Lola. We don't have builders like my daughter. We don't have the things that we need. We don't have cures for cancers and all of these debilitating diseases, because those people chose the path of least resistance because of the lack of capacity in their brains. And so they went off and did other things. And now we need things and we don't have it. And the people who came here to do it have so far gone from that, we don't have what we need. So then we all just kind of settle in and say, that's just the way it is. It's not. It doesn't have to be this way. But individual adults have to make the choice to start to learn how their brain functions so they can be high functioning. It's a choice. This is a choice. Using the 74 principles of real leadership is a choice. I believe in myself, which is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. I believe that I came here to do big shit. That's my belief. And I'm going to go to my grave either having done it or having believed it, like Goji and Kahal saying, oh my goodness, this is the space on the receptor. But I'm unwilling to sit around regular, schmegular folks and let them make excuses and everything and blame everybody without bending the wrist and saying this shit is on me. I got this fucked up existence. I got this regular ass stuck fucking life. Cause I am afraid to go up here and learn how this thing functions. That's on you. That's 1000% on you. If you don't like your life, that's on you. Stop blaming everybody else. It's cute and it feels good. It feels like, oh, the reason why I didn't is because it is, but it's not actually true. The reason why you didn't is because you didn't. That's why you don't have it. That's why you didn't do it. Your didn't is on you and nobody else. So stop saying that. Because they what? Because they did what? They put a pebble in the street and you tripped on it and fell and you got back up and ran in the other direction. Is that what you're talking about? Some shit from 1997? You talking about that one time that somebody told you no, so now you don't ask for nothing else more of yourself because they told you couldn't do it back in the 3rd grade? Is that what we're talking about? Because one teacher told you was dumb? That's an excuse. I ain't never had enough support to get nothing done. Ain't stopped me from shit. Nothing at all. So that's the excuse. So we don't have what we need, and this is volunteer work. So I would be here every day continually saying it's neurological. As soon as you find out and discover how your brain functions and you become high functioning, your life is going to change, and then the people around you will see you doing it, and their lives will change. And then grassroots efforts, the world will change. But it's not going to change because change is a choice. And you don't have to change, and nothing's going to happen. How y'all feel about that? While I put my other graphic up. For real, for real. And I got to go far down in my chat for the cool brain. Where the hell is it? Before the lawyer brain, social judgment theory. And drink water. Let me search it. Because this isn't going to work. Too many chats. Anybody got any feelings on what I said? I asked y'all how y'all feel about that. That's volunteer work. It's real. For me, I got peace with it. Because I've been vacillating back and forth with, I should make them, I should make them, I should make them. And now I'm saying, if you're not being incentivized, you're going to stay the same. I volunteered to do a lot of things and don't ask for more. Expect anything. I'm not quite sure I understand your answer to the question that adults have the ability to not do what I'm saying. Personal accountability, learning how your brain functions, and the 74 principles of real leadership are cognitive overload until they're not, and they're efforted. And adults have chosen comfort and dysregulation, even though it's not boding well for them in their day-to-day life because of the VACC and the SGACC. And obviously the left and right amygdala, immediate gratification, and those comfort habits in the basal ganglia. So how do you feel about that? And I'm telling you this because you're going to continue to level up. By the time you get to level 5, you're going to realize who actually is phoning it in and who isn't. And then you're going to have to make a choice. Do these people still get to have access to me when I know that they're not using their full cognition and they still want me to be around? Maybe it's too much work for them. It's too much work for everybody, Daisy. It is. Until it isn't. Cognitive overload is there until it isn't. It's not the perception. You subscribed? Okay, cool. Spaghetti 1263. Welcome. The perception is that, so they're mythologizing and saying that it's too much without ever knowing. And here's what I will say, and then I'm gonna go to the Q brain. Wanting to be better is what fuels me. Yes, ma'am. So the myth is, and I used to tell, I see John Cummings. I used to sit down with him every 4 weeks. He's very smart, highly intelligent, and he was just loading trucks. And every 4 weeks, I would say, John, you are full-time. Why won't you go back to school to get your degree? Why won't you apply for one of these higher positions? And he kept saying, no, 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 Donna, no, no, no. It's going to take too much time. I said, 365 days is going to pass whether you do something or you do nothing. And when I left Sterling Heights, because I started talking to him in 2005, I left the whole Michigan and everything in 2009. I came back across this path. I said, you do realize that by now you can have a degree because you're still here. He did move up to being a backup CSR, but that was it. So my point was the 4 years passed either way. I told everybody that had full-time jobs, go get a degree. Degrees don't expire. Go get a degree. And I know college isn't for everybody, but that would give them options. So in case the distribution center closed, they could go do something else because they will have this backup plan. And so I'm saying that people are saying that this is difficult, and I'm saying it's no difficult than the life that you wake up to every day. You're not happy. It's not working. You wake up complaining and blaming, and you got a different option. So for me, how I see this is, if you're going to stay stuck and not know how your brain works, then you just sit in it. Because what's happening with the complaining, and I know I'm going to go over, I'm going to be quick as shit in the shower. The happening with the complaining is that's your soul saying, we not supposed to be doing this. Why are we doing this? This ain't right. That's your ACC. Miss Brenda Jones is like, this don't match. This don't match. Why? Why are we doing this? That's what the complaining is. I want them to change. No. You're the one who needs to change the environment. You're the one who needs to stop, because they not. Why won't they just? Why won't you just leave? Why won't you just quit? Why won't you get a divorce? Why won't you just start? Why won't you? That's how it works in that system. Everybody's soul knows that they're doing the wrong thing. That's why it's not working. You with the wrong person at the wrong job in the wrong neighborhood with the wrong family and the wrong friends. And it knows. It simply knows this ain't it. So then you go shopping. Then you go do some other stuff. And then you just say, fuck it. And as Bridget says, your doggone ACC becomes numb and it stops sending you the alert. It's like, fuck it. If you're just going to be here, be here. I'm not going to talk to you no more. Bridget said, people are too comfortable doing nothing. People will settle before they try something new. People have disconnect in their brains. That's why people wanted to be so loud. That's why people always got to have music on, TV on or something. That's why they got to go somewhere and be somewhere. Because if they got to be with themselves, that little whisper is, this ain't it. That gut brain is sending 400 messages, one-way communication to the head brain every single day. And you just ignoring it. Because it's not working. It's not working. But that mythologizing, that excuse alliance says, well, white people ain't going to let you. Well, the blacks. Well, the problem is because you ain't got enough money. Well, if you was a man, well, if you was a woman, well, if you had a better degree. So you start saying all that shit when none of that is true. How do you know until you actually go find out for yourself? You don't know. You actually don't know until you go over there. My family used to say, don't go over there off of 15 Mile because that's where the rich white folks live. I said, which direction is that? I need to go see them. Where is it? Where are they? What is it that? As soon as I get a driver's license, is it that? Is it east? Is it west? Where y'all talking about don't go? Don't be an officer. You're not going to work for a living. Well, I guess I ain't going to work for a living. I'm going to go find out. So I will know for myself. Now I got that information and that experience. But it just keeps everybody in a nice little stuck self. So if you never complain again, then you're doing what you came here to do. But if you find like, why won't they? Because you ain't doing what you came here to do. And now it's going to take you some time to undo it. You're going to have cognitive overload. You might only get 6 hours of sleep for 2 years to get out of the life that you never meant to live in the first place. But that's how it goes. I'm about to be in a lot of pain for the next couple months getting this dental work done. I didn't take care of my teeth. This is what the fuck I get. So the clue brain. So I can get on out of here. Today's brain bit is the clue brain. The clue brain is the brain that stops, you too, Bridget, that stops reaching and starts investigating. Instead of jumping to conclusions, it looks for signals, patterns, and inconsistencies, treating confusion as data, not danger. I'm going to say that again. The clue brain is the brain that stops reacting and starts investigating. Instead of jumping to conclusion, it looks for signals, patterns, and inconsistencies, and it treats confusions as danger, as data, not danger. The ACC notices something is off. That's the signal. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex slows the impulses to assume and start testing hypothesis. That's what that 10 significant seconds of silence is for. And the insula checks internal signals so emotions don't hijack what's taking place. Why this matters is when you use the clue brain, mistakes become evidence, not identity threats. You upgrade from why is this happening to me to what is this showing me? And I always say first you get the lesson and then you get the blessing. Why is this taking place? What do I need to extrapolate from this? Okay. And then the final one for today is your 2 questions. What did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? And spaghetti 1, 2, 3. What I know you believe that you're helping by saying hit the like. That's not how the algorithm works. Because of the content that I am covering, the watch time that people have is not long enough for them to send clusters to do the notification for more people. It doesn't matter how many followers I have, doesn't matter what platform I'm on. It literally is the topic in and of itself. So there will never be a large quantity of people on the lives because people have to stay and listen. And again, as I mentioned, this volunteer work. No, I'm not saying that you're messing up. I understand that you have now sent something and you're like, wow, this is valuable. Why aren't more people watching it? Exactly. Because of the cognition, because of the mental capacity that it takes to watch and process. So it happens on every Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And yeah, those are the 3 platforms that I go live on. And it happens on all of them. So algorithmically, people would have to stay. Now, if I was doing some dumb shit, a mukbang or something, spitting out some hot wings or something, then there will be hundreds, if not thousands of people watching it. It's the topic, not my following. 2 questions on the table today so we can get out of here. What did you learn today and what did you learn about yourself today? You're going to answer. You type an ellipse, a dot, an emoji, a thinking brain or something to let me know that you are thinking. And you're going to answer the question. And then you answer the question. What did you learn today and what did you learn about yourself? And drink water for the final time today. Okay, Daisy and Nola are thinking. Nola said, I learned people will make an excuse not to get it done. Yes, ma'am. Nola said, I learned about myself. I didn't even consider how hard it is. Just get laser focused on the goal and consider the how. Yes, it is very, that's why I say I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the face of the planet Earth. Because of how many times I've held myself personally accountable and moved past something that was extremely difficult to accomplish in the first place. And consistently keep doing it. Hence the neuroscience classes now. I'm about to go to the dentist and still gonna get all my other shit done. And then just Daisy's answers, and we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Daisy said, I learned today that I am making less errors in my daily life. That's a beautiful thing. And keep doing neural reps, and it will continue to happen. And so, you know, the second question, Daisy, I want to come back on camera. What did you learn today about what did you learn about yourself today? So here's the summation, ladies and gentlemen. Your brain is the only thing that's going to help you change your life. Nothing else. You can try everything. It's not. You use it. Your brain got you in your best situation that you're in right now. Your brain, your current untrained, dysregulated brain, has you having the friends that you have, the job that you have, the profession, the retirement, the whatever it is. Your brain is how you got there. And if it's working for you, kudos to you. But if all of it is not working, if any part of it is not working, you need to train your brain in order for it to work better. Now you have a choice. You don't have to do anything I'm saying. And I said that, and I've continued to say that throughout the live. But stop complaining about it. Do yourself a solid. If you're not going to change it, claim it. I did this. This shit is on me. And own it. Stop the credit and blame if you're not going to change. Daisy said, I learned about myself today that I am slowly understanding how my brain functions. And that's the objective. That's my objective every day. I'm slowly understanding how the brain functions. I'm slowly, get off my live, wrist speed 487. Go away. Go away. No, go away. Don't be sorry. Go away. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. I'm talking about your brain right now. I'm not talking about any religious affiliation whatsoever. I'm talking about your brain. I'm talking about your brain and the brain. That's what I'm talking about. The brain that you are either going to learn how it functions so you could be high functioning, or the brain that you're going to use to explain away all of your inability to become extraordinary. That's what I'm talking about. You're either going to use your brain to become personally accountable and become your best, or you're going to use it to stay dysregulated, untrained, and personally unaccountable. Those are the options. Personal accountability is for your whole life. Everything that you do and fail to do every day, all day, everything, every decision that you make and fail to make all day long is personal accountability, because the objective is best. You can't be 99% personally accountable. It's 100%, because you're going to say, I fucked up and I didn't do this, or I did. That's personal accountability for all that you do and all that you fail to do day in and day out. That's personal accountability. Anything short of that is personal unaccountability. When you go and start pointing at other people and everything else, fix you first, because it fixes a lot. Train this first. You're going to train a lot. You're going to get a lot. You're going to have more options. That's what's available. Or go have an unaccountable existence, but sit in it and be honest. That's the one thing that you could do is if you're not going to learn how your brain functions, go ahead and say, I'm unwilling to learn how my brain functions. I want to be comfortable and I'm choosing comfort. And so for the rest of my life, I'm going to blame when things go left, somebody else other than me. And then when things go right, I'm going to give myself credit. Just say that. And the problem is you won't say that either. But that's what you're actually doing. You're actually taking credit and blaming when it goes left, and finger pointing and staying comfortable and being self-righteous. So just go ahead and say it. And I guarantee you, if you say that enough times every single day, it ain't going to feel right. It's not going to, when you got to actually admit it, first step of the 80-12-step program is admittance. As soon as you start saying that out loud, it's going to be like, ooh, it is. So say it out loud. You want to be comfortable for the rest of your life. You don't want to do nothing, but don't complain about it because you actually are making that choice every single day. You are saying, I don't want to know how my brain functions. I don't want to be high function. I just want to be comfortable. Say that. And then don't complain because you are in that because of your inability to do the actual work. All right, Lola. And then I got to go. The 74 principles goes according to and within my spirituality. I'm getting better with them both. And that's what they were designed to do, Lola, is not step on anybody's spirituality. That's why cussing ain't one of them. They're not designed for that. They are aligned with being human. That's what for most. Now, there might be some new religions out there that I'm unaware of, and there's no disrespect to them. I didn't do that to try to tell you, you can't worship that. You can't, you gotta, no. That's not what they're there for. And yours is strict. Real strict. Very strict. So thank you for your time and space today, ladies and gentlemen. The Neuro Rep again for this live is that you literally are going to go to the website, look at the hardest principle of real leadership, the one that makes you just want to walk away, that got you shaking in your clothes, and you're going to pick that principle today, and you're going to use it. You're going to use it. You're going to do it, and then you're going to come back and you're going to say, here's what happened before, during, and after, and here's why I was afraid of it. And you're going to find that it wasn't that bad. Or maybe it was terrible and it goes left. You get a lesson and then a blessing. And now you will have knocked down that personal accountability wall, and all the rest of them will seem effortless because you went and attacked the lion, the grizzly bear, the shark of all principles of real leadership. And it won't matter what anybody else says. If y'all all have the same one or nobody has the same one, that's not the point. The point is you attack the one that's stopping you the most. And now every last one of them, you will be able to implement better. I will be back tomorrow, God willing, higher power and the universe, same time, same place, safe space, different brain t-shirt. The link for the brain t-shirts that I wear and more will be in the description. So you can click on that link and go to my Amazon shop and buy you some brain t-shirts. I will be back again tomorrow. Maybe talking like this. I don't know, because I got to go to the dentist. So I'm practicing now because my teeth are going to get hurt. But I will be here. God willing, higher power in the universe. You all go off and have a brain-tastic day. Take care. Adios.